So you might be trying to figure out whether you want to buy a Nintendo Switch Lite or you want to buy a Nintendo Switch OLED model. Now both these specific models are very, very different, but there's also a lot of similarity between them as well. But the first question I want to ask you is, do you plan on ever playing these specific games or your Nintendo Switch games on the TV? If that is the thing that you want to do, if that is the main thing that you're going to want to try doing, you have no choice but to either buy the original Nintendo Switch or to buy the Nintendo Switch OLED model. There's no other way you can do it. The Nintendo Switch Lite doesn't have the ability of playing on a specific docked mode, so that is a big thing to keep in mind. If you're wanting to go and play even like multiplayer games, you can do that, but there's not even a tabletop mode for your Nintendo Switch Lite unless you buy like some sort of like stand for it. So that is a big thing to keep in mind. Also, if you don't have a budget, if you can spend all the money in the world, the OLED model of the Nintendo Switch is a no-brainer. Just go ahead and buy that. It's going to last you forever for the Nintendo Switch model, however long that specific thing lasts. And that's a very, very cool thing. With the Switch Lite though, if you only plan on playing it in handheld mode and you want to save some money and you probably don't even care about playing with other people, you just want to go and play a Nintendo Switch on the go, that is a really good console that comes in a smaller form factor and it's a little bit more portable from that standpoint as well. So that's also a really nice thing that you have, that you can just go and play that game on the Switch Lite and pretty much move on with your life there too. Now that is basically that on the outside. There's, obviously a smaller display on the Nintendo Switch Lite. It's about a 5.5 inch LCD display. The Nintendo Switch OLED has a 7 inch OLED display. So it is a much larger display on the OLED, Nintendo Switch. It's a nicer looking display as well. And the differences between that LCD display on the Switch Lite and the OLED display on the Nintendo Switch, there's a really, really big difference. It is a much better panel. And if you're only playing in handheld mode, it is still a really nice panel to look at on the Nintendo Switch OLED, and it looks really good. And that's something that I really do like about the Nintendo Switch OLED model. So once again, if that is a big deal to you, you want the best playing experience, the Switch OLED is going to be the better way to go. But the Switch Lite still has a really decent display on it too. Like, it's okay, it's definitely not amazing, but it gets the job done, and I think that's a good thing that's kind of going on for that OLED Switch. They both have, USB-C ports at the bottom, but the Switch Lite's only charging. The Nintendo Switch OLED has display out. You have the removable Joy-Cons though on the Switch OLED too, which is a really big deal. If you're wanting to go ahead and play multiplayer games on the go, you can just do that within the Joy-Cons that you have within the system. On top of that, Joy-Con drift is a really big deal, and honestly, my buttons on my Joy-Con sometimes break for no reason at all. It makes no sense at all, and they just randomly stop working. So I like the ability of being able to replace my Joy-Cons, or even sending them into Nintendo for them to fix it for free, without even having to go through and having to buy a brand new Nintendo Switch Lite, or trying to repair those, things by myself, because that is a very annoying thing, and I don't really want to have to deal with that. So once again, that's a pretty big thing. And with the OLED Switch, you basically have that type of capability built straight in, which is honestly very, very nice. So once again, that's kind of another W for the Nintendo Switch OLED as well. On top of that, the battery life standpoint, you are getting a longer life battery or longer lasting battery on the Nintendo Switch OLED than on the Nintendo Switch Lite. So what Nintendo suggests, or what they kind of state on their website, is that you get 4.5 to 9 hours of battery life on the Nintendo Switch OLED. When the Nintendo Switch Lite, you get 3 to 7 hours. Is that accurate? In my opinion, from the games that I've played, from everything that I've tested, that's probably right. The Switch OLED is so much bigger. It has an OLED display too. So it's just a better panel that's more optimized. So I would probably say that's fairly accurate. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you're not gonna, if you're gonna be around a charger the whole time, it doesn't really matter. But that's just another reason to go buy the Switch OLED over the standard Nintendo Switch Lite. So in my opinion, the only similarities you're basically getting is that both of them can play Nintendo Switch games. They are compatible. You can still connect Joy-Cons and stuff to both of them. But really, the one that just is so much better is the Nintendo Switch OLED. It's a much better console. But I've also seen a lot of people buy the Switch Lite and like it a lot more than the other, Switches, because of that portability aspect. So that could be another massive thing that kind of, is a feature for the Switch Lite as well. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.